Maple Ridge, Oregon, population just over 4,000, at a place where families left their doors unlocked and nothing bad ever happened. Until the night Lily Carter was murdered. Lily was 22 at a kindergarten teacher. She made cookies for her students and wrote bedtime stories in her spare time. Everyone loved her, but one October morning in 2015, she didn't show up for school, and by sundown, the whole town was in shock. She was found in her backyard, strangled, still in her pajamas, no forced entry, no sign of struggle, and the tea kettle on her stove, still warm. The town grieved, but they also wanted someone to blame, and that blame fell on Caleb Moore. Her ex, they had broken up 6 weeks earlier. Friends said he was intense, possessive, heartbroken that he was questioned within 48 hours, arrested that same week. The evidence? Angry voicemails that a sighting of his car near her home. Text messages that sounded desperate in OD and a weapon to NO prints. But the town didn't care. Neither did the jury. 6 hours of deliberation. Life in prison. Case closed, or so they thought. 7 years later, a man named Grayson Vale, a true crime podcaster, took interest in the case. He specialized in wrongful convictions, and Caleb's story didn't sit right. He requested the original case files. He watched every police interview, and that's when the cracks began to show. Officers never searched the attic, never tested the basement window, and a neighbor who reported hearing a woman arguing with someone that night, dismissed. Grayson interviewed Caleb in prison, got access to his old digital logs. They told a different story. Caleb was online until nearly 3 a.m., playing games, using a VPN, every login timestamp. Lily died around 11 p.m. He couldn't have done it then. Grayson found something no one expected. Lily had filed a complaint weeks before she died against a janitor at her school that a man named Harold Finch. He was fired quietly for inappropriate conduct. Grayson tracked him down, living 3 towns over. When questioned, Harold denied everything, until Grayson said, "Tea kettle's still hot." That detail, never made public. Harold froze, then kicked him out. Grayson handed everything to the police. They reopened the case. Police got a warrant, opened Harold's old storage unit. Inside, a box of women's jewelry, muddy shoes that a torn pajama sleeve today. Necklace with Lily's initials. The DNA confirmed it. He had been in Lily's home, that he had touched her things, he had killed her. Caleb Moore was exonerated, released after 7 years, but Maple Ridge didn't know how to react. Some apologized, others crossed the street when they saw it. The town had picked its villain, and they were wrong. 2 months later, Caleb was trying to rebuild, moved into a new apartment, started therapy. Then one night, he came home to find a mug on his kitchen counter, white, ceramic, etched with Lily's initials, and beside it, a note. "You forgot something." He called the police. They found no signs of a break, and no fingerprints, just one silent message. Someone had been inside. Act 6. The second mystery begins days later. He got a voicemail that a woman whispering, "You buried the wrong truth." Grayson enhanced the audio, compared it to the voices from trial, and one match stood out. Clara Hughes, the neighbor who swore she saw Caleb leaving Lily's home the night she died. But when Grayson found her, she confessed, "I lied. The cops pressured me." She never saw Caleb. She only heard yelling. A deeper voice, rough. Lily's mother had a boyfriend, Rick Lanton, former military, worked at a logging company. Grayson pulled the old police body cam footage, slowed it down, and in the window reflection of Lily's living room, a hoodie with Rick's company's logo. He had disappeared after Lily's funeral, said he needed a fresh start. Grayson tracked him to a cabin near Salem, called the cops. They searched it. Inside, photos of Lily, maps of Maple Ridge, newspaper clippings of the case, and in one room, scribbled on the walls, "Justice doesn't end when prison doors open." Caleb was doing his best until the knocked up N01 outside. Just a box. Inside, a VHS tape, a childhood photo of Lily, and a new note. "You were never supposed to leave." The VHS had no label, just a faint fingerprint on the edge. Caleb didn't have a VCR, but Grayson did. They watched it together, grainy footage. A child's birthday party, Lily, age 10, laughing. Then it cut, static. A shadow. The camera inside her house. She's older. Maybe 15. She's arguing with someone off screen. A man's voice, deep, commanding, "You will keep your mouth shut." Another, "Cut." Then the final frame, Lily, sitting alone in her room, writing, crying, and a caption appears on screen. "She told the truth. Look what it cost her." The tape is turned over to detectives. They analyze it to know clear identity of the man. But Caleb recognizes the voice. Rick Lantham, Lily's mom's boyfriend. The man Grayson tracked to the cabin. The one who disappeared. Again, A new search is launched. Grayson goes deeper. Finds an old diary Lily wrote as a teen. In it. She names Rick. Says he threatened her. Said she knew too much. Too much about what? That's when Grayson finds a parallel case. 10 years before Lily died. Another girl. Same county. Same school. Disappeared. Her name was Talia Myers. 16 that vanished walking home. Never found. Guess who worked at the school back then? Rick Lantham, a substitute groundskeeper. IT was never connected. Until now. Grayson interviews Talia's sister. She says Talia had mentioned a man following her, watching her from behind trees near the school. She never knew who, until Grayson showed her a photo. She pointed to Rick. That's him. Clara Hughes, the neighbor who once lied in court. She reaches back out. Says she remembered something. That night, she saw a man walking in the woods, not toward Lily's house, away from it. He had something slung over his shoulder. She thought it was a duffel bag. Now she's not so sure. Police sweep the wooded area again. This time, they find something. An old camping site. Ashes. Bones. DNA testing confirms. The remains belong to Talia Myers. The case explodes. 2 victims. 1 man. Rick Lantham becomes the most wanted name in Oregon, but no traced NO credit card activity to NO calls. Until a letter arrives to AT Caleb's apartment, NO return address. Just one sheet of paper. They chose you because you were easy. I chose her because she wasn't. Maple Ridge is in chaos. Protests erupt. How many people knew? How many covered it up? More people come forward. A school secretary who remembers filing Lily's complaint about Rick. IT was removed from the system. It be why someone in admin Grayson starts connecting dots that Lily's diary hints she had been preparing. To go public, TO filed charges. She never got the chance. The town wanted silence. Now they can't ignore the noise. A week after the letter, another girl goes missing. Same school, same walking path. Her name is Maya Sloan. 14. Grayson is furious. The town is terrified. And Caleb? He finds a second packaged NO mug this time. Just a Polaroid of Maya, crying, and another note. This isn't about justice. It's about memory. A girl died, an innocent man went to prison. A predator vanished, and the town pretended it was over, but it's not. Someone out there is still choosing, still hunting, and unless someone stops him, Maple Ridge will never be quiet. Again, Maya Sloan. 14. Gone for 6 days. Her photo found in Caleb's mail haunts every second that she's crying. Tied up, alive. The timestamp? Dated 2 days ago. Somewhere, she's still out there, and someone wants them to know it. Police begin a statewide search. Every highway exit, every forest trail, every abandoned cabin. But it's Grayson who makes the breakthrough. He notices a small detail on the Polaroid, a flyer on the wall behind Maya, for a gas station discount. Valid only at a location 120 miles north of Maple Ridge. A station shut down 5 years ago. Grayson and Caleb race there. It's decayed. Empty, but there are tire tracks, fresh ones, and inside, in the old backroom fridge, a school ID card. Maya's. They call the police. The site becomes active. Canines, helicopters. But Grayson keeps exploring. Behind a shattered bathroom mirror, he finds a note, written in red marker. You're close. But you'll be sorry if you're right. It's taunting them now. Whoever this is wants a game. Grayson digs through old records, finds 3 more disappearances from the last 15 years. All girls. All in towns Rick Lantham lived in. None were ever connected. Until now. Each case involved girls between 13 and 17 schools. Rick had access to locations within miles of abandoned cabins or hunting lodges. A serial predator, hidden in plain sight, protected by small-town silence. Grayson gets a flash drive in his mailbox. NO return address, NO sender info. Inside, a video file. Maya, alive, sitting in a dim room, reading from a piece of paper. Her voice shakes. I'm not the first and I won't be the last. and no one ever listens until it's too late. Then the screen glitches, and a voice, Rick's voice, speaks. Sometimes, justice needs a different kind of memory. News breaks. The video leaks. Maple Ridge explodes with fear and fury. Protests outside the police station. Threats online. Parents pulling kids from school. Grayson is warned to leave, but he stays that he follows a new lead. A hunting cabin once rented by Rick in a remote canyon 2 counties east. He and Caleb drive through the night. They arrive before sunrise. It's eerily silent. They circle the cabin. Windows boarded, but the door? Unlocked. Inside, chains on the floor, scratched. Walls, and a camera, still recording in the back room. Maya, exhausted, alive. They free her. She breaks down, whispers one name, Rick. As police take Maya away, Grayson searches the cabin. Under a floorboard, he finds a sealed envelope addressed to Caleb. Inside, a photo of Lily, Talia, of Maya, and a final message. You were their voice. But are you ready for what happens when people finally hear it? It's not over. Rick is still gone, still watching, still planning. And now, everyone is listening. Maya's safe. But Maple Ridge is anything but. The footage, the photos, the voices, they all say the same thing. Rick Lantham is guilty. But there's no arrest, no confirmation. Just silence. Some locals still defending. Say it's fake. A smear. That Caleb and Grayson are just chasing ghosts. But ghosts don't leave scars. And this one, he's leaving fresh ones. 2 nights after Maya's rescue, a break-in shakes the edge of town. A farmhouse, owned by one of Lily's former teachers, that he's found unconscious, tied to a chair, with a recorder next to him. Police play the tape. A distorted voice. You watched. You knew. You let it happen. The man wakes up in the hospital, says he's innocent, but his records show otherwise. In 2012, Lily came to him with a journal. She said she was afraid that he never turned it in, never told anyone. Now he's marked. A manifesto surfaces, posted anonymously online, titled The Town That Hid Me. It names names, dates, details never released to the public, staff, officials, even parents. IT claims 3 reports of abuse were destroyed. 2 officers blocked investigations. 1 family was paid to stay quiet. Every line oozes vengeance. But is it Rick? Or someone else? Because some of the details, even Grayson didn't know them. The next morning, Caleb is gone. His apartment? Undisturbed. Phone on the nightstand. Laptop still open. On the screen, a single line of text. Sometimes, freedom is the loudest. Prison. No trace no witnesses. Just 1 shoe in the hallway. Grayson breaks down. He blames himself. He told Caleb to stay. Now he's missing too. A Sunday vigil for Lily, Talia, and Maya. A stranger walks in, older, hooded, limping. He doesn't speak, just leaves a box at the altar and vanishes. Inside, a USB stick. It contains 3 hours of footage, all inside the school, from a hidden camera. Dates ranging from 2010 to 2015. Conversations, threats, even students crying. 1 voice appears over and over. Rick's that it's enough to prove everything, but it's still not enough to find him. Then Grayson gets an email. No subject, no message, just coordinates. A spot in the woods. 10 miles from town. He goes alone to a sunrise there, tied to a tree. Caleb, alive, but barely on his chest. A word carved into his skin. Liar. Next to him, a recorder. Rick's voice. You were never meant to be the hero. Just a warning. The FBI gets involved. A national search. But Rick is a ghost. The town is paralyzed. Some want to help. Others want to hide. But Grayson, he's done. Hiding. He starts a final podcast series, Maple Ridge, The Reckoning. And in episode 1, he says, Rick isn't the story. The silence is. And we're tearing it apart 1 name at a time. Because this time, it's not just about finding a killer. It's about ending a culture. The podcast goes viral. National headlines. Cable news anchors finally say the name. Rick Lantham. The FBI launches a task force. Dozens of former Maple Ridge officials are questioned. Some suspended. 1 quietly resigns, but none arrested. Not yet. And Rick? Still missing. Still a ghost. Caleb is home, but barely functioning. His wounds are healing. His mind isn't. He barely speaks, except for 1 phrase. Over and over, he's not done. Grayson presses him for details. Caleb finally breaks. There was a list, he says. Rick showed it to him while he was tied up. 10 names. All connected. All complicit. 2 of them. Still teaching at the high school. IT happens on a Tuesday, just after midnight. The Maple Ridge High School gym goes up in flames. Arson.no doubt. Gasoline residue. Burn marks traced to the bleachers. In the ashes. A charred file cabinet, partially intact. Inside, a folder labeled Incident Reports 2010 to 2015. Some still legible. They confirmed everything. Complaints, allegations. Cover-ups. All signed, all dated, all ignored. Protests fill the streets. Half demand justice. The other half want silence. You're dragging good people through the mud, they say. Grayson gets death threats. Caleb gets followed. A brick is thrown through Maya's family's window with a note. Stop talking or she goes missing again. Even the mayor calls for the podcast to shut down, but Grayson keeps going. One night, Grayson finds an envelope taped to his car. Inside, a flash drive. It's a recording. A man's voice, shaky, nervous. It's Principal Harris that he admits to destroying. Reports T.O. pressuring Clara Hughes to L.I.E.T.O. warning Rick when the first investigation started. I was scared, he says. He said he had files on everyone. I thought it was just rumors. He begs for forgiveness, but disappears the next day. His house empty, his phone dead, another ghost. Grayson interviews an old janitor. Now retired, he remembers something odd. A locked tunnel beneath the school, originally used for maintenance, sealed. In 2011, Grayson and FBI agents go down there. It's moldy, collapsing, but at the far end, a room. Inside, chains, cots, an old camcorder, tapes, dozens of them, some marked with dates, some marked with names, and a wall covered in Polaroids, girls, crying, just like Maya. The tapes go public. The FBI confirms their authenticity. Warrants are issued. 7. Arrests. 3. More resignations. 2. Suicides. And Rick, still gone. Until one final email, sent to Grayson, subject line, "You've made progress." Message, "But I'm not finished. And neither is the town." Attached, one last Polaroid. A child. No one recognizes her. Yet, asterisk part too soon.